Alright. Took me a little while to get into this, but it's time to finally start my Doctor Who episode retrospective reviews, whatever I'm gonna call them. And we'll start off with the first episode of Series 1, entitled Rose. Which makes sense because it's the first episode. It introduces us to Rose, it introduces us, new viewers to the Doctor. And I've already kind of done my little history lesson with you on the Doctor, so you're kind of caught up with the basics, I think. So, let's begin. This episode starts right away with introducing us to Rose Tyler, played by Billie Piper, and her mother, Jackie, played by Camilla Coduri, and she's off to work. And, Alright. And she's off to work at the department store, and she goes down to the basement to look for someone, and she runs into, well, for the lack of a better term, a living mannequin. Which we later found out are called autons, and they work for the Nestine Consciousness. And she's rescued by the Doctor, and the Doctor basically takes care of the auton and basically says goodbye. And he introduces himself. When he goes to take care of it, he blows up the place, but he's like, "What's your name?" She's like, Rose. And he's like, "Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life." And he blows up the department store. So now she doesn't have a job. And she's greeted by her boyfriend, Mickey, whose name I don't remember, whose actor's name I don't remember. And he comes in, and she has, like, one of the arms of the autons that was left behind. She does make it throw it away. He does, but by the next day, the arm has made its way back into the house through the dog door, the cat door, whatever, and the Doctor has returned. And this is where we get some comedy between the Doctor and Jackie, Rose's mom, where he's standing there and she's like, "I'm in my dressing gown." He's like, "Yes, you are." And she says, "There's a strange man in my bedroom." "Yes, there is. Anything can happen." And he just goes, "No," and walks away. Now, one thing that I noticed this time through watching with the Doctor is that he's trying new things. Like he tries to shuffle cards or something, it doesn't work, and he often shakes it off like he didn't know if he could do that or not. And there's also when he's looking at his ears, and it makes me think that this is shortly after he's regenerated from the War Doctor, as we find out later, to this version of the Doctor. And very much I think that the War Doctor was created because Christopher Eccleston, who plays the Doctor, did not want to return for the 50th anniversary. So here, though, it's very obvious that he's not used to this body, I don't think. Whether or not it was supposed to imply that Paul McGann's eighth Doctor was the one who fought the Time War, or not. But you could tell just by the way he acts. Like, after he helps Rose with this out, he says goodbye again and doesn't even think once about asking her to join him like he would with other companions. He just says goodbye because he thinks it's the best thing. Because in his mind, right now, from what he's done, which we'll get into that later in the series, but he thinks it's best to be alone. But it's this episode that kind of, changes him. So she goes up. So after that, he leaves in the TARDIS. He does do the description because she asks like who he is and what he is and stuff, and he describes that he can feel the world rotating, spinning, you know, talking about when you're a child and you find out that the world is spinning, you can't believe it. And he describes he can actually feel the world spinning, which would be kind of weird if you think about it, but yes. So, after this encounter, after the doctor leaves, Rose is determined to find out who he is, other than the doctor, which is all he's told her. So, she goes over to Mickey's, she starts typing in stuff on the internet and finds someone named Clive who knows about the doctor. Now, the picture they show, it's very clearly photo-doctored, but it's photoshopped. It's very clearly photoshopped. Even the pictures that he shows the doctor in Texas just before the Kennedy assassination. And then a picture with a family who was going to board the Titanic, but at the last minute decided not to. And I remember when I first watched this, I'm like, or not even first, even today I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, wait, how does that make sense? How is he look like that back then? Especially since the Kennedy assassination was in 1963, which would have been when the first doctor was around. And then I went, idiot, he's a time traveler. He can look like that at any time. So clearly, the doctor at some point, as the ninth doctor, went back in time, which kind of negates my idea that he was freshly regenerated. But then again, who knows? He could have went back in time to do that then before showing up here. I don't know. Just the way he was acting could have shown that he was freshly regenerated. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah. So once again, she goes to Clive. Clive believes that the doctor is dangerous, and really, Clive serves no importance in this episode other than to give a little bit of exposition and to have Rose doing something when Mickey gets taken. Now here's an argument I want to make. Mickey's argument that he doesn't want to go inside the house because he thinks that Clive could be dangerous. But yet he's going to allow his girlfriend to go in. But he'd rather stay out in the car other than go in to protect her. The only reason that this happens is so he can be taken by the Autons. And he does. And I'm sorry. You have to be the world's biggest idiot not to notice that there's something different about your boyfriend's appearance. Like, because he goes to investigate this moving trash can, which is Auton plastic, and he touches it, and it gets stuck to it, and he gets sucked in. And when Rose comes back out, it's very clearly he's got a fake hair thing on, and he looks, pizza, and he drives away. And I love how they reintroduce the doctor here, though. Like, you don't see him, you just hear a voice go, "Is champagne?" "Oh, the champagne." And then he comes over to Rose and he goes, "Champagne?" "No, it's not ours." And then, "Are you sure?" And then he pans up and the doctor's right there. And then he pops the cork into the forehead and it comes out here, pops out, and then he rips Mickey's head off, or the Auton Mickey's head off. And then Rose follows him to the TARDIS. And that's where he explains what TARDIS means. TARDIS stands for Time Relative Dimension in Space. And, which later, I don't know, I'll get to that. So, he tries to use the hand left over, or Mickey's head. He tries to use the Auton Mickey's head to triangulate where the Nestine consciousness is. And when they land, he says that it didn't work, and the head just melted. And she thinks he's not concerned about Mickey. They do find Mickey, of course, but he's like, it's got to be some big monument or satellite dish or something where it's coming from. And right behind him is that big Ferris wheel that's in London there, you know. And she's like, he looks, "What?" What? It's like he doesn't get it at first, and then he's like, oh. And it's inside the Ferris wheel somehow. They find a nesting consciousness. The Autons grab him, and then he's got anti-plastic that will kill the Autons in the nesting consciousness and stop everything. Now, Rose just wants to go ahead and kill it, but the doctor says that he wants to give it a chance. Now, this could be as a result from the Time War where he didn't give the Daleks a chance. So maybe now he's changed his mind where he's like, I had to give someone a chance even if it hurts them in the end. Maybe it's possible, but yeah. So he gives them a chance, and they end up sending the Autons onto the world where they kill Clive when he's out shopping late at night with his family. I don't know. And there's even some Autons who are ready to shoot Jackie before Rose saves the day with her bronze-winning gymnastics and ends up knocking the anti-plastic into the nesting consciousness, killing it. They get in a TARDIS, and they go away. And he offers Rose to go with him, but she says no. And Mickey grabs onto her leg, no, don't go. But so she says no. He gets in a TARDIS that goes away, and he comes back a minute later or so, and she's like, did I mention it travels through time? Well, it says time in the name. Time, relative dimension, and space. So, probably a given, but I'm just saying. But, so she ends up going with him, and it's really... I forgot about this ending where she starts to run, and music starts to play, and she goes into the TARDIS, and that's how it ends. And then we get a preview for next episode, which I do. And one thing I also want to talk about is the effects. Now, the effects in Doctor Who have never been perfect, but in the earlier episodes, you could really tell what kind of budget they had. Clearly, it's gotten better over the past several years, but man, you got the way that it's supposed to be plastic. When Mickey's raising his hand, it looks like he's got stringy goo on his hands, but you can tell it's computer generated. And I will say that the mannequin effects were pretty good. There were probably people in suits, but it's still pretty good. But if we're supposed to believe that was actually Mickey in the car when Rose came out of Clive's house, I'm sorry. But I understand. Us as viewers are supposed to say, oh, that's not really Mickey, and he's supposed to be a plastic Mickey. But if we at home can notice it, why can't Rose? But, yeah, for a first episode, it's not bad. It does what it needs to. It introduces the Doctor, introduces his companion, it introduces some minor villains, which we'll probably never see again. I don't think we do. But it introduces, kind of a lore to the Doctor for those who don't know. And, and the TARDIS and everything. So it works. Good first episode. But now we're going to travel to the year 5 billion in the next episode. So look forward to that. Until then, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.